Hey guys, what up? It's your girl Lele, and thank you for tuning in to my show, Listen Live with Lele. And guess what, guys? I have another reaction video for you. So excited. I am so excited that you're here with me today. And we are going to get into the Kevin Hart roast. Yeah, I'm thinking it's time to start talking about this Netflix special of Kevin Hart's roast. And how many of y'all out there got the chance to see it? Just curious, what's your thoughts? What's your opinions? And I am dying to hear from you. So, the first segment, because the show was about 2 hours long, and I don't want to play the whole entire thing to spoil it for anybody who does want to go and watch it on their own. So, I'm just going to play a really quick clip that is what I felt was the most enjoyable part of the whole roast. And I'm just going to tell you right now, not a big fan. I was not a big fan of this, and we'll get into that at the end as to why. But I do have a short clip for you of the part that I liked. You want to hear it? Here it goes.
I'm surprised they invited me. That's how little star power you have. They had to start inviting your enemies. I said, I hate him. They said, come anyway. For the people at home, you're wondering, why is the cat man doing this? For the money.
Okay, stopping it right there. I love that Kat came out and totally shocked Kevin. Sure, Kevin was not expecting Kat to come out, and show him love like that. And, honestly, I was surprised when Kat walked out on the stage my damn self. So, but anyway, mad props to Kat Williams for coming out and showing support for another legend in the game. And also mad props for him just basically being brutally honest right there. Um, Doing it for the money, bitch. I love it. Leave it to Kat. Anyway, we're going to carry on.
For those of you just joining us, Kevin and I have beef, and I'll tell you why. Because privately, this motherfucker stole everything from me. Before he saw my act, he was a 6'3" white man. I tried to tell y'all that Kevin Hart was a plant, because I keep burying him, he keeps springing back the up.
So Kat, of course, trying to throw his uppercut punches in there. But, what do you think about that? You think, Kevin did come back a little bit later and address that Kat said that, he stole everything from me. But I do like the fact that Kevin mentioned that, they don't need a pimp for everything. I thought that was funny. But yeah, Kat and Kevin did have beef, and Kat does really believe that Kevin stole a lot of roles from him. But anyway, still happy that they came out and dapped each other up and showed each other love. So anyway, I'm gonna continue on.
Like a plant. Yes, I said some things I'd like to take back. Some things I said were misunderstood. I did say that Kevin was a Hollywood puppet, and I want to explain that because it might not be what you think. I meant that the head of Netflix literally has his whole hand up Kevin's and can make him.
So, all right, that was really it. So basically, what Kat's trying to say is that Kevin's a puppet. Anything that Kevin asks for on Netflix, that Kevin will do, and basically that he's kind of a sellout in a sense is what I took from that. So, what's your thoughts on that? Uh, Quick segment right there. Do you feel that, Kat has some validity, or do you feel that Kevin came back with Kat with some validity? But I do appreciate at the end of the day, two legends were, took time to set aside their beef and, came out to support one another. And that's about the only thing that I liked in the Kevin Hart roast. Everything else, and I'm going to get into it right now. Okay. So, first of all, I would never, ever, ever be okay with my daughter turning this on. Now, I feel like comedy has this was just degrading. It was degrading. I feel like I was like, at the end of this really, like, this is what we find funny nowadays. It didn't do it for me, but I wouldn't let my daughter, we're near this if I could prevent it. No type of parental advisory at all on there, and it really, really should have been. So I'm actually shocked right now that our kids can just pull up Netflix and turn this on and all the stuff that they were talking about. So yeah, racism. We have homophobic at its finest. We've got talking about people's dead husbands and suicide, and just all of it was unnecessary. So the first thing that just was distasteful to me. Now these are my own reactions. So the fact that they kept calling Chelsea Handler a whore, like, who's the Netflix writer on this? And you could tell that at first she was cool with it, but after a while, she's just kind of sitting back like, yeah, this is getting old and I don't really, really don't like it. Think about yourself. You get called out a B or what, a bitch plenty of times, you're going to eventually be like, oh, okay, that's enough. Y'all need to pump your brakes because some shit might go down. You keep on. All right. So, but I did hear that Chelsea Handler got on Google and did kind of make her comments about the distaste of it all and the sexual I can't get that word out, so we're not going to try. But the sexual comments that were just floating around about her the whole entire night. But she did handle it well. Mad props to you, Chelsea, for coming back and clapping back on a lot of the hosts there and on the stage with you, and for also coming out afterwards and saying that you were not happy with it. And I do appreciate that. Second thing is the Cheryl Underwood comments, y'all. Couple of things. To be talking about her dead husband and the fact that joking about the suicide part of it, man, that just it was just distasteful. It was just unnecessary. And then to keep talking, one joke, fine. And don't get me wrong, y'all. I done grew up with, Red Fox and let's say Eddie Murphy's Raw, and shoot, I don't know, my mind can't flash back that far. Did I just secretly tell my age? But anyway, so yeah, I mean, we grew up with, some pretty rough characters, and even Dave Chappelle, I really, really love Dave Chappelle. However, I feel like Chappelle's comedy kind of has not kind of, always has a hidden message underlying in his jokes, and he actually fights for cause, and I don't feel like there was any of that in this Netflix special. But on top of all of that, to make racial jokes about Cheryl, at one point they were talking about, her smile and her teeth, and just again, the husband suicide comments. But then at the end, I was very proud of Cheryl until she started talking all these pussy jokes and this, that. It was just distasteful. It was just distasteful. And we cannot not talk about The Rock. Come on. First, when he come out, Rock's gonna be there and support, Kevin, of course. But it just didn't seem right. The words that were coming out of his mouth at the end, like it was like, bro, that's not funny. And then with him trying to get Kevin to sit on his lap, like, don't don't even play me like that. I don't care if we on TV or not. Like, bro, you my best friend or whatever. You should know how to joke with me. That the writer, whoever wrote that part out, it was just distasteful. And Kevin should have some shit to say about that afterwards. Next, I just really just the homophobic comments, the sexual comments. At one point, one of the dudes was sitting there on the stage, with, your titties out, and it was just too much. It was just too much, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, I mean, at one point they were also even talking about, you know, sorry, you know, put that out there. But yeah, parents, you need to watch, make sure your kids ain't watching this special because it was a lot. It was a lot to take in. And the reason why I wanted to do a reaction video about it is because it really got my reaction. And I've been talking about it with my kids, and I've been hearing a lot about it on the radio, and a lot of people reacted to it. So I want to hear your reactions. Do you feel that it was a little bit too much? I mean, or did you just like the roast? And comedy's comedy. If you don't like it, you should just get over it. But me, in my opinion, I feel like the comedy took it too far because it was really distasteful, and um it crossed the line of where jokes should be at. And even Tom Brady came out and it just didn't even sound right hearing all the F bombs come out of his mouth either. So, but anyway, I probably had maybe two, three real good chuckles throughout the whole roast. Other than that, I was just like, mm-mm, mm-mm. I didn't like it. So tell me your thoughts. Feel free to comment, DM me on Listen Live with Lele on IG, or you can leave comments under here under the video. Did you like the Kevin Hart roast, or did you find it a little bit distasteful? Um, yeah, just what'd you think? I'm really inquiring minds. Really want to know. So thank you for tuning into my reaction video. As always, you can find me at Listen Live with Lele on IG, or you can see the full episode on YouTube at Listen Live with Lele. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on your alert button because we're gonna probably have a follow-up video about this as soon as your comments start coming in because I really, really want to know. And thank you guys. Appreciate you. And don't forget, level up with Lele or level out. Peace.